Peggy Lee, and she is a jewelry designer out of San Francisco. And she has made some really exciting designs that are to directly address this recent rise in hate crimes that have been reported in the Asian and Asian American communities. Peggy, you're really putting your jewelry where your passions are for your community and really wanting to help back and give back to the cause and help the community. Talk to us about how you feel about these hateful anti-Asian incidents that have been making national headlines that are affecting you.
Hi, Aubrey. Thank you so much for having me. Yeah, when I first started to hear about these hate crimes against the Asian American community, it was just really devastating and so scary. And I felt like, in the Bay Area, this is something you don't expect, but that it's even happening here where you have such a diverse community just shows how minorities need to continue to use their voices to share their culture and share their stories and keep our needs front and center.
Why do you think we're hearing more about it now? Is this something that's new to you?
I think the pandemic and just all the hardships that everyone has been going through during this time has really exacerbated these feelings. I think when people start feeling afraid and aren't sure about their place in society, that, a natural reaction is to lash out. And I think, like with a lot of other minorities, it's really easy for people to other Asian people, and therefore we become a target, and it's really unfortunate.
So, Peggy, tell us what you decided to do to play a part in combating Asian hate.
I mean, as a jewelry designer, I wanted to give back in a way that I knew how, which was to create two jewelry design pieces where 100% of the funds will go to organizations targeting anti-Asian hate and supporting AAPI communities. The first being GoFundMe's Stop AAPI Hate Fund, and the other funds being Save Our Chinatowns, which is a grassroots organization here in the Bay Area, as well as the Chinatown Development Center, which is sponsoring Feed Plus Fuel, which helps San Francisco Chinatowns.
Well, I love what you're doing, and when I heard about it, I definitely wanted to share it with our audience. Tell us about each piece that's going toward helping these causes, and more about what those profits will ultimately do as you kind of support the cause.
Mm-hmm. The first piece I created is a sterling silver Year of the Ox necklace. And the Year of the Ox, of course, symbolizes honesty, hard work, and perseverance. So I thought it was a great symbol. 100% of the profits of the sales of this necklace will go to the GoFundMe fund, which is going to send grants to different AAPI organizations across the country. The second necklace I created is a little fortune cookie necklace in sterling silver. And the profits from the sales of that necklace will go to Save Our Chinatowns and the Chinatown Community Development Fund, both of which are targeting local San Francisco, Oakland Chinatowns, helping businesses as well as SRO residents in those neighborhoods.
Well, I love
and
the pieces. They're so beautiful. I mean, very delicate, very small. They're small, they're subtle. They're not like huge statement pieces, but just very, very pretty. And obviously, your heritage, your background is playing into your design and your feelings about this issue. What about your parents? How do they feel about what you're doing?
My parents are no longer with us. And I think, like Asian parents, they were a little worried when I decided to become a jewelry designer and have my own business. But I think they'd be really proud today that I'm using my voice to speak up. And, the reason they came to this country was to have more opportunity. And I think they'd be super proud that I'm able to follow my dreams and do exactly what I want with my business and with my art.
Well, that's
today.
Amazing.
And then, yeah, the fortune cookie necklace especially is special to me because, of course, growing up in Santa Rosa, my parents would drive us down to San Francisco Chinatown like every other week to go shopping for groceries and, of course, to eat. And it was a way for them to connect with their cultures. So Chinatowns have a special place in my heart.
And Peggy, how well is the campaign going so far? Have you been able to raise a good amount of money?
It's been fantastic. The response was great. I've raised about $7,000 in donations so far.
That's amazing. Well, we appreciate the work you're doing and sharing it with our audience this morning. I'm going to tell everybody if you want more on these special jewelry pieces and more of her work to stop Asian hate, you can visit peggylee.com.